Hello there, this is me, Cousin93, and this is Pretty Rhythm Preview Reviews episode 35. This is going to be a review of the preview for Pretty Rhythm Rainbow Live episode 9. Now, this preview starts off with Nara saying, oh wow, they want us to be involved in Edo Rose. They've invited us to Edo Rose's recital. But not just that we're going to be involved in a Prism show as well. Then what happens is then On says, oh, there's TV cameras, let's advertise Prism Stone since it's such a small store and such. And then Nara's like, because I guess she heard that, and she's like, what? We can't go on stage unless Renee's there as well? And like, why? Ito then says, oh yeah, I think they're planning something. And let me see the end of it. Yeah, and that's basically the context of the preview, because the episode's name is the Prism Live is a storm after the sunshine. And basically, it's the end of the preview. So, coming from that type of wording for the episode name, is a Prism Live a bad thing? I don't know. I mean, back in, if you haven't watched the rest of DMI Future, or any of DMI Future, this might be somewhat of a, not spoiler, but more of just like, you wouldn't understand it, but one Prism act was like that as well. I think it was the Road to Symphony, was the really only corrupting Prism act that I can think of. Grateful Symphonia was as well, but Grateful Symphonia was way too long, and must I admit, it was a bit too much context inside of it. I mean, it was almost an episode and a half. Let's get that straight. I mean, it was too long, but enough about talking about a Prism act from a whole entire other season. What I'm thinking about now is that we see some scenes with a tent. We see the scenes at the tent, and then we see On and Naru dressed up in their Prism uniforms, and then we see Rene sitting on a tray. Now, in all the things I can consider in this episode, there are maybe 3 things that I can probably think about, or maybe I think would happen. 1, there's going to be a trio performance. If On and Naru are in theirs, there's probably going to be Ito, and if not Ito, then it's probably going to be a duo performance. It could be a duo, or it could be a duo plus Rene, or it could be a trio plus Rene. So those are my only things, because they're like, oh yeah, why won't they let us on the stage without Rene? So it must be that Rene is going to be performing as well. Second thing is Rene must perform a Prism Live that is bad in some way, that might tear something. I'm not going to go into the specifics of like tearing a fabric in space-time or something, which I feel wouldn't be too far off for the series since they are in another world, but I feel it's a bit too early to pull that kind of card. I mean, if they pulled it maybe around episodes 11 or 12, because 11, 12, 13, or 15, because that would be around the time when the opening changes, and then they would probably show even more after that. But for right now, at episode 9, I don't think that would be too ideal of an idea, but if it does happen, then that's fine. And then thirdly and finally, about Wakana, Beru, and Ota, since they're having a recital, they're probably going to be performing as well. I'm not going to throw it out there and say they're going to throw out a full trio performance, but we might see maybe screenshots of them just like dancing, because of course they don't want to show everything just yet, and they've shown them in their Prism uniforms in the opening, so they have to perform sometime in the next 6 episodes. Definitely, they have to perform the next 6 episodes, and also Naru, On, and Ito have to perform as a trio in the next 5 to 6 episodes. Because again, like I said, it's sort of like an opening change where they have to like change the opener according to the story on how it's going. They can't keep, I mean, if they keep it the same for the whole deal, I wouldn't be mad about it, but just for consistency's sake, I guess. But again, that has been a preview review. Thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you guys later.